It's been rainy and overcast for a week now. The garden is wet, soaked, drenched, and the solar's struggling a bit to keep up. I think it's been hovering around 80% for 6 days now. But this foggy morning has a calm to it, and I kind of like it. Today, I'm going to be letting the chickens out free range for the first time. I've been nervous about this because of the hawks and the eagles that are around the mountain. They've been in that coop long enough, and it's time to see how they do on their own. I'm also cutting up some hardware wire to build a couple of compost bins, real simple ones, just enough to handle the garden waste and the buckets from the outhouse. They'll be separate, of course. I'll get a little done in the garden while it's soft from the rain, and before the day's over, I've got to try to replace the hub on my trailer. One of those jobs you put off till you can't anymore, and it's that time. I appreciate you being here. Let's get to it. Live on a rocky mountain, right? So there's no soil. All the topsoil here is pretty non-existent. So one of the things I do every week is I shred my mail with a paper shredder into these little bitty pieces. And then I take all my paper towels and I save them in a bag, and I try to tear them into little bitty pieces. And I take all my coffee pods and I try to get all the grounds out of them. And I do this to throw all this into my composter that I know. And finally, the sun came out. A little bit of sunlight to dry everything out. I was so excited that I got out. And I started putting these compost bins together. That's good. Really kind of feels good. See, I had some strawberries. Here I'm just using some fencing wire to twist and complete this. I'm gonna leave these compost hopefully it's enough to hold them. Because there'll be periods of time in the winter. I guess the next thing after that is to just dump your human waste into the small one.
Human waste one, it needs
you want to make sure that you
so in the winter
put this on the
ground,
it to
break down,
break it up where it's fairly flat, and
just to show you how this process is kind of
add lots of organic material to the top of it, enough so that you don't see any flies. If you see flies, then you know that you haven't covered it enough.
Stuff in there to cover it. So just pick up this straw from this straw.
This is just some straw. I believe this is a little bit of
cereal rye I've been growing.
Cereal rye that I
lays on the ground.
So back.
It makes this great.
And I'm just going to cover that up where there are no flies on it and everything's staying off
just everywhere. So that's not going to be a problem.
A good 3 or 4 inches of material on top of it.
While this is small, I can just
compost
pull this.
Waste. Then I didn't like the way it
cover that
I thought it needed to be stirred a little bit. So I did.
maybe even put this in place, but you don't have to.
I'm super excited that I'm gonna have this manure pile right
I'm not
here
hauling it
by
off. It's
the
all gonna
cabin
go
in
right
the
here.
outhouse, shower
And
house.
every
Because
time I need a little bit of,
this will keep me from having to
Alright,
haul my
so
waste down to the
I've got this thing kind of the
food
size I
plot
want
where I
it.
was dumping it,
So
spreading it on the food plot
I think I'm
for
gonna
the
go
deer
ahead
and the animals
and
as
try to cut it
fertilizer.
now.
If it's up here, then my trip just got a lot shorter, and it's not nearly as inconvenient to empty out my outhouse. I'm gonna start cutting the wire for the bigger composter. This will be the garden compost. I keep these two things separate in every way.
Let's see if
I'm
that's
starting
gonna
off
work.
with a small pile
Let's see.
of dirt and peat moss that
This.
was left out of a busted bag from the shower house.
Get that thing to sit down.
You should, in theory, with this thing being in the sun, as long as you keep some moisture in it, you should be able to fill this thing up one day, and the next day it'll be,
I'm gonna tie these off.
wilted down to about half
Oh, that a
full.
wrap.
And it just continues to break down, and you just
On
continue
this one, I
to
may
put
cut me a
weight
little
on it.
scoop hole right
You
here.
should do layers of brown,
Where I can
followed by layers of green,
run the scoop
followed by
in,
layers of brown.
grab
You
a
should
load,
alternate your
and put it back
layers.
on
So
top.
when you put a bunch of green in there,
Where you can just
like
keep going through stuff.
say the
Kinda where you can
pokeweed
stir it.
that I put in there
think that'd be
towards
a
the
good
end of
idea.
this video,
So what
you
I'm
should follow
doing
it up with a little bit of straw,
So I've kind of
grass
doubled
clippings,
this over
leaves,
a couple
pine straw,
places.
something to that effect.
to kind of, probably should have done this before I started. If we can get it back on the pile. I have to do a little shoveling again. Most of this compost out of the barrel composter. Composters being open to the earth, this will allow worms to come up in there and naturally break stuff down. And every once in a while, taking a couple of scoop loads and dumping it on top, maybe you're getting some worms up top and they're breaking it back down, and then they're coming up and breaking it down. I just foresee this being a way to do much larger loads of compost. I'm excited about this. Get it nice and stirred up in here. There's food coming out of that just fine.
The chicken coop is fairly small for 4 chickens. It may be a bit undersized, but my goal was never for them to spend more than the night in there, really. They eat, they drink in there.
There's just some water for outside the
pen. That's
pen.
it. During the day, I would like them to be out free ranging as much as possible.
Where it can be
Now, they were extremely excited to get out of that coop. They immediately focused their attention to this composter I'd built. I don't know if it was where I'd shoveled and they saw worms or bugs, but they were very fascinated with the composter.
Planted a bunch of lettuce and kale right here that I knew would die before it got mature. But I also planted it all around the chicken coop, hoping that they would love it, and I think they do. They go around picking at it every day. Sounds like some fighter jets off over there on the other side of the mountain. They're low. Beautiful morning. The birds. It's cool right now, but I know it'll get hot quick. Really need to go change out a hub on my trailer. I blew a hub out about a month and a half ago, and I bought I think the correct replacement parts. I've just got to go change them. Should probably go do that. I accidentally locked the chickens out of the coop. I was cleaning the coop yesterday afternoon, and I shut the coop door when I walked out. So last night they roosted on the spar here underneath the solar panels, and they did fine. I was proud that nothing got them. They did get a little poop on some stuff, but that's fine. It's par for the course. But that has me worried that they're going to try to do that more often, so I need to make sure I get them put up tonight, and that their coop door's open, and that there's no issues with them getting in there. Because they were doing real good about going into the coop at night, right as the sun goes down. I imagine they'll stay out all day today, which will be good for them, but I don't want to make a habit of it. I want them to spend the mornings in the coop while it's cool, and then in the heat of the day I kind of like to let them out so they can get up in the woods and stay cool. I don't know if they'll lay eggs in the laying box today or not. There's no eggs this morning, and yesterday morning there were 3, so they'll either individually go in there and lay, or they'll lay out in the woods, and I won't get to have those eggs. But they're really enjoying the free range. They're enjoying getting out. The cat is just absolutely enthralled with him. He hasn't attacked one, but I think he's just so amazed that they let him get so close to it. Like, surely they see him. He's 2 feet from that hen. He doesn't attack them, he just sneaks up on them. He thinks that's fun. Marsh has been getting an egg every morning. Well, on mornings they lay 2 to 3 eggs. That evening I try to give her an egg with her dinner. I just mix it in her dog food. She loves that. Anyway, that's about it for right now. It's a beautiful morning. It makes it really hard to go do the things you should be doing while it's cool. It's so much easier to just sit around and drink your coffee and relax. But I think I'm gonna grab a few tools and go down and try to tear the hub assembly off that trailer. Hopefully I've got the right one in my truck to replace it. If I do, it'll be a quick fix and I'll be done in an hour. If I don't, I'll have to try to trade back the one I need. Anyway, I'm gonna get to it.